Politicians love screaming about traditional biblical marriage being one man and one woman, except the Bible is full of polygamy, concubines, and treating women like livestock. Biblical marriage wasn't about love or morality, it was a property transaction where women were commodities and men collected them like Pokemon cards. Abraham had a wife and a concubine. Jacob had 2 wives and 2 concubines, and they were sisters. King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines, according to 1 Kings. David had at least 8 wives. These are the heroes of the Bible, and they were running harems. A concubine was basically a sex slave with a nicer name. She had fewer rights than a wife, could be discarded at will, and existed to produce heirs and provide sexual access. This is in your holy book, and nobody mentions it when they're defending traditional marriage. Marriage was invented as an economic arrangement between families. Women were property transferred from father to husband. The bride price wasn't romantic, it was literal payment for acquiring a woman. Marriage secured alliances, inheritance rights, and labor. Love had 0 to do with it. In Deuteronomy, if you rape a virgin, you pay her father 50 shekels of silver and marry her. That's the punishment. You break it, you pay for it. She has to marry her rapist and can never divorce him. That's biblical marriage. Levirate marriage required a man to marry his dead brother's widow whether he wanted to or not. If you died without sons, your brother had to impregnate your wife to continue your bloodline. Women were breeding stock to preserve male family lines. You could also sell your daughter into slavery and she'd become a concubine. Exodus 21:7 straight up says if a man sells his daughter as a slave, she doesn't go free like male slaves do. Biblical marriage included buying women. The whole one man, one woman thing didn't become standard until the Roman Empire adopted Christianity and Roman law only allowed 1 legal wife. Polygamy was still practiced by Christians in some regions for centuries after. Mormons practiced it until the US government forced them to stop in the 1890s. Traditional marriage is whatever the ruling class says it is at any given time. Marriage wasn't about love until like the 1800s. Before that, it was about land, alliances, and heirs. Parents arranged marriages between children. Women had no choice. The idea that you marry someone because you love them is a recent invention that would have seemed insane to most of human history. Women could not own property. They could not divorce abusive husbands. They could not refuse sex and were beaten legally. Coverture laws in America meant married women had no legal identity separate from their husbands until the late 1800s. A man could rape his wife and it wasn't a crime because she was his property. Marital rape was not illegal in all 50 states until 1993. Interracial marriage was illegal in many states until 1967. Loving versus Virginia had to go to the Supreme Court to allow black and white people to marry. That's 50 years ago. Your parents or grandparents lived through that. But sure, tell me more about ancient, unchanging traditional marriage. Same-sex marriage became legal nationwide in 2015. Before that, gay people couldn't visit dying partners in hospitals, they couldn't inherit property, and they could definitely not make medical decisions. Marriage gave legal rights and protections that were denied to anyone who didn't fit the current definition. When people say biblical marriage, they're cherry-picking the parts they like and ignoring the polygamy, concubines, rape marriages, child brides, and slavery. They're not defending ancient tradition, they're defending whatever lets them control other people's lives while they're pretending God agrees with them. So next time someone invokes biblical marriage, ask them which biblical marriage they were referring to. Abraham's polygamy, Solomon's 700 wives, or the one where you buy your rape victim from her father for 50 shekels. Stay crisp.